Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Bristol here with a little shop update urine review combo pack. I wanted to jump on here and do a couple of things, namely show you guys the new kit, but also do like a little bit of chatty talk because I haven't like had this one-on-one talk with you guys for a little while, especially since I started doing my Storycraft series because that's all voiceover, so like you're not getting a lot of like candid in the moment discussions. So I thought I would jump in here and just sort of do like a year in review and plans and projections for the year coming up or the year that we're into. I know it's midway through January. In my defense, January is the longest month of any year, hands down. So we're still in January and we'll be in January for a while. I feel like it's appropriate. It's okay. So first of all, welcome back. I missed you guys. Missed your faces. I hope you guys are well. And I hope you guys have gotten a chance to check out my new kit, my Spooky Valentine, which is up in my Etsy store. For no other reason than I got a wild, like, hair up my butt to make a Valentine's Day kit. Because I was like, you know what? You got Halloween, you got a Christmas one. You don't have Valentine's, and that's coming up, so get on that. You have a handful of the Sabbats, which I swear I will finish that series eventually. Just not today, because we did Valentine's Day instead. So, I wanted to do a gothic-y type Valentine's kit, but I also wanted to do something that, like, calls in the actual feel of Valentine's Day. So you'll kind of see that as we go through it. So I really love this kit, you guys. I really love how it came out. I used some different type of elements that I normally do for a more graphic feel, and I really, really love that. It just sort of like brought this whole thing to life. Plus I use these really beautiful florals, and I love these type of florals. I like putting real stuff on top of drawn stuff. It just makes me happy. So, as you can see, we have some beautiful pages here, and I kept to the very traditional Valentine's Day color palette, but I also made it, like, really bright, and I absolutely love this. This was outside of my comfort zone. Purple is not my color, you guys, and I don't work with, like, purples and pinks, even red that often. They're not colors I'm, like, particularly drawn to when it comes to being creative. I do enjoy the color pink, though. I have gotten past my like absolutely no pink phase. I am now in the pink is amazing phase, and I thought like I need to add something like that to my shop, so here we are. And I just love this. I love the like skeletal depictions. This background is really great. I just love the way the colors pop against like these more muted florals. I really love it. I loved adding like tattoo features to the hands and stuff that I used in here, just so it was a little bit alternative, even though it's still really romantic, but also like just jazzy, sparkly Valentines, you know? And I love that in this particular set of like graphics that I used, they had a lot of these like sort of Grecian elements to go along with the Cupid element. So it really put me in the mindset of like Cupid and Psyche, or Eros and Psyche, and like Iphis and Ianthe, even a little bit like Daphne and Apollo type. Like I really wanted to like sort of bring that feel through as I did this, and I love the way that like that can blend. It doesn't just have to be like a Valentine's kit. It can also be like a star-crossed lovers destined kit. And I just really am happy with how this kit came out. I love this. It's giving me like Sappho, but also a little bit like Achilles, and ooh, I'm gonna go to Greek jail for this. It's not Patroclus, is it? And his lover. I can't remember the names. But those were the kind of the vibes that I was gearing towards and stuff that I was like feeling as I was creating, and it was just really fun. And then I also wanted to keep it like traditionally gothic as well, so I added in a lot of those type of elements so that, you know, you could do non-mythological romances if you aren't like me and aren't like jazzed by that kind of stuff. So this kit comes with some background pages. I should talk about the actual page that I'm looking at, right? I love these like neon type elements that I added in just to sort of punch up the colors that are already like, whoa. But I just really love it. Like stuff like this is really fun. I think like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this. I hope that you guys get a lot of use out of this. I even like faded in some of these hearts in the background. Just really pretty stuff. And a lot of like fun things to work with. This page is just wow. Wow. And you guys ask me all the time what kind of paper I print on. I normally print on matte like presentation paper like from HP, and it's a really heavyweight paper, like 38 pounds I think, which is heavy for like a copy paper. But this time I ran out of that, so this is printed on 36 pound, which is slightly lighter. And I just printed this on the normal settings because I wanted to show you guys what can be done normally on my printer, which is an HP Envy 4520. If anybody asks, I have not updated it in forever. It's the one I've been using this whole time. So yeah, even on just like normal settings on a less high quality paper, it still comes out really amazing. Just because you guys asked me, so sharing it. I get a lot of like messages in my Etsy shop about that. Love this. This is where like all the Greek influence started to come in, and I started to be like, oh, what about this and what about that? And I remember this story, like I loved it. I love this one too. I just love the colors in this. It's so like in your face, but like not my eyes hurt in your face. And I just really enjoyed working on this. So to go with the kit, there are of course the ephemera set, the separate add-on kit, and in there are these little tiny hearts, which I just really thought were super cute. I think these will make like little fun clusters or like banner covers, or even just like little tiny valentines that you can give to your friends because they're really cute and a little bit spooky. And then there is this super big, I can't even fit it in frame, envelope. There's some of these file folders. And then a large pocket, some of these badges, and some belly bands. Now, theoretically, I'm pretty sure this matches, so it fits the page. Just in case you guys were wondering. I think I did the math here. I used the graph on the app. It wasn't like I did something scientific. There's some corner tucks and then some little banners here. I love leaving the lines on this one so you could like journal on the banner. Just like a fun little idea. Do what you want. And then here, I'm going to point these out or highlight these in particular because these launched a whole different idea as I was making it and almost derailed the entirety of this kit because I don't know if you guys are aware, I have ADHD and it's a beast sometimes. And sometimes I see a new shiny and I forget about the old shiny and the old shiny becomes dull and boring and awful because I'm only focused on the new shiny. So when I did these, I was like, okay, I need some quotes for these tags. When I think lovers, who would I pick? And all I keep like thinking about is that if I were to do like my own tarot card series, the lovers would always be Gomez and Morticia. Like I would put them on there because they're like end game ultimate goals. So I was like, well, we can't do a Valentine's Day kit and look for quotes about love that aren't like not from Gomez and Morticia. So I found those quotes, and then as I started looking for these quotes in particular, I was like, oh, there's a lot of quotes in here I love the Addams Family, and I haven't done any Addams Family things. So since I'm still pretty hyped from the show, like I gotta do this. So I almost went like in a completely different direction, at which point my design team would have throttled me because I made them wait to get this stuff. And I would have been super late had I been like, you know what, I just dropped everything I was doing and I jumped into Addams Family instead. Not to say that that's not going to happen in the future. I just like, I have a map I need to follow within reason, and it wasn't on my map. So I'm not even prepared to start an Addams Family project. But it did launch something else, and I'll show you guys when we get to the bottom of this stack. So there are 4 of these big old little fatty taggies, and they have quotes from Gomez and Morticia about love. And then there are some of these giant tags. A little trifold that also operates independently, so you don't have to use it as a trifold. It's just available. The option is there. And then on this page is an envelope and some of these little circle cutouts. And then also I gave into my dad, my inner dad, and added in some puns because you gotta let your inner dad fly free every so often. And then there is another envelope with another one of those like tatted hand set, some little pockets to go with it, a nice little tag set, tickets, scrunchy, rungy journaling cards. I don't know what to call those. Just some journaling spots, and then some more large tags. I love these, and I know like I get really positive feedback on these giant tags, so I'm glad that you guys enjoy them as much as I do. Flip. Okay, and that is the end of the ephemera add-on kit for my Spooky Valentine. And then the last thing is I made two sheets of Addams Family quotes, and I put them together as a single listing so that you don't have to buy each one individually. They're in there together at a cheaper price than you would pay if you wanted to buy them individually. So yeah, they're in there, and I love these, and I cannot wait to use them. But again, we're on a path, and this isn't on my path yet. I did add it in, you guys, like it'll eventually happen. It's on my trajectory. I'm just not immediately prepared for it, but I'm excited. I already put these in my shop, so they're available for you guys to check out. And yeah, that's the update I have for you guys right now. Working on my next one, so I'm excited for that one. I think you guys will really enjoy that one. I didn't want to go too crazy, like launching the year with a super big update, because I knew I had other big things in store. And while we talk about that, I'm gonna work on some stuff I didn't put in my series. So if you guys are following along, I launched a Storycraft series at the end of December, because that's the best time to launch anything ever. And then there I've been making ephemera for the commission that I'm currently working on, and sharing like tutorials and stuff like that for you. So I just want to say about that series, if you guys are watching that series and you see something that I have made, and in that series I don't give any written directions on like how I made stuff, so that's entirely for visual people to pick up on. So if you're watching that and you're like, I don't really understand how she did that, I wish she would tell me how she did that, just write it in the comments that you want to see something. Put a timestamp so I know what you're talking about, because I don't have the memory capacity to remember everything in every video. I'm sorry. So timestamp it, or at least give me like a clear picture of what you want to see. Be like, hey, you did those matchbook shakers, and I would like a tutorial on that. And I would love to make a tutorial on that for you, like a spoken tutorial, so I can break it down and explain to you. So that's always an option. Please don't feel like shy or ashamed to ask. There is absolutely no harm in asking. And I would prefer that you guys tell me what you want to see as a spoken tutorial or spoken like craft with me, versus just sitting there wondering how you're going to make it and then giving up because you were shy. It's okay. Ask me. I will make it for you. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do going forward. That's going to be like my main series on this channel, because I can do Storycraft over anything I do. Which makes it easier for me to share with you guys. So, yeah, going forward, continue to give me your requests for that series. I have a list of them. I will tell you guys what I have so far. So if you aren't following all the comments like I am, weird, why wouldn't you? You can be aware of what's been requested and then know, you know, what options you have available to request. So far, I have a request for Beauty and the Beast, some Greek mythology, Sleeping Beauty, Alice in Wonderland. I hope not the entirety of the 2-book series, but you know, who knows? Maybe I'll do like a special extended edition at a later date, and we'll do like 12 parts. The Robber Bridegroom, the Juniper Tree, Snow White, the Wampus Cat, and then just more mythology in general. So if there is something I did not just say that you want to hear me tell you, put that down below. I think I'm going to try to aim for doing like stories about lovers. And I probably already gave away some spoilers of where my brain is going for those in this video for February, but otherwise I don't really have anything like concrete planned out for what I'm doing. I'm just doing them as I go down the list and come up with stuff. I'm trying to mix in like my own wants with the requests that I have at the same time, so that like everybody's happy. Yeah, definitely keep giving requests there. And then again, if you see something in one of those videos and you want some more explanation on it, I would be happy to make that video for you. So please request that as well. I just wanted to get that out of the way before I jump into it. So I have been making ephemera for that book, and this one didn't make it to a Storycraft because I like made all this, what's it called, modeling paste out of like some of the Prima artisan powders that I've had sitting on my shelf unused forever, that I thought like, hey, I'm going to use these because they're just sitting here collecting dust. And then I got the bright idea to tint my transparent crackle paste, because my white crackle paste is dehydrated. It's cracked. That's how dehydrated it is. And I threw that out and was like, ah, man, I still want some crackles on here. So I was like, oh, I'll tint them yellow using my Distress Oxide Fossilized Amber, which if you heard that sentence, you would know that oxide oxidizes, and now it's like a gross, crusty mustard booger color, and I hate it. So, while we talk here, I'm going to try to salvage these pieces because I really like everything else about them except for these crusty, mustardy pieces. And then this is just like the stack of things I found when I thought I was done making ephemera for this book that I had set up to make for this book. So I don't know if I'm going to use those still or not. I probably will because I don't like to leave stuff like that laying around. But I got to fix this because it's just like snot. I hate it. So while we talk, we're going to attempt to fix that. My first idea is to go over it in black and then maybe hit it with some metallics. So let me find my black. And I hope there's still some black in here. Otherwise, I'm going to be disappointed. So we don't paint on our cutting mat, even though we do everything else there for some reason. And a paintbrush. There we go. So, 2022 in review. I went back and looked at my videos because I was under the impression I had been somewhat productive through the year. And it turns out I wasn't nearly as productive as I imagined. I did manage to continue to put out content for the majority of the year, so that's unpleasant. So I am happy about that. I just didn't put out a lot of like journaling specific content, and I didn't even do all the like witchy things I wanted to do. I just sort of existed for 2022, and I feel like that's appropriate from the conversations I've had with people about the year, like in review. That seems to be kind of a standard, like a norm. I think a lot of us spent 2022 just existing. Not to say that I wasn't productive in that year. Like I did stuff. I designed a lot. I did my digitals pretty faithfully. I just didn't have a lot of creative energy last year, and it kind of made me sad a little bit. I did complete a bunch of challenges that I hosted. So, you know, I did this Spring Around challenge. I did the SCT challenge, Summer Camp Takeover, and then I joined April to do the October Daily Challenge. And those were all really fun. So I had fun like doing those things. But as far as like regular crafting goes, I did one journal commission, started another one, and then I finished a journal like as a side project. But what happened was like I got COVID at the same time I wanted to like post it, so I had to wait until I was done with COVID to post it, and then I ended up just sort of sliding it to my shop, anticipating posting the video for it, and it sold before I posted the video, and then I was like, all right. That's it. So there's a book I've done that like nobody's seen the flip through for, and I still have it, but I had like COVID brain when I did the flip through, and it was like an hour long for a book that I don't think was like merited an hour long. So I like condensed the footage down to half an hour, and at this point just convinced I'm gonna go back and like re-record the voiceover so that you guys can at least see like what was said, or at least see what I made, not what was said, because what was said was freaking bananas. But at least this way, like, you guys will be able to see it, and, you know, I can put that in my YouTube record of things I have made. and it won't just be like a fever dream that I had. I think this works. Because, like, watering it down, it still has, like, sort of that yellow color, although that's too much yellow right there. But it still has some of that yellow showing through, but it's not, like, booger color yellow. And, that makes me feel better. I'm more confident in this. This will make it into the final project. Because I didn't want to waste this. I really loved it, but I didn't want to waste it. And I was like, you can't put booger pages out there. It's just not gonna go well. So yeah, so that was basically the year. What I did, in addition to that one journal, and as far as videos go, was I did a lot of unboxing. So, you know, I like unboxed a lot of Sugar Muses boxes and Sticky Club and stuff like that. And I have decided, as of right now, because I have a surplus of witchcraft supplies that I just don't get around to using often enough, that I won't be getting another like witchy box until I use that stuff up. So my idea is to do like some more witchier videos on this channel, because that's what I said I was going to do when I closed down, or when I stopped posting to my Den of the Wanderer channel, and said I was going to bring all that stuff to this channel. So my thought is to do that, although I have a lot of like strong, complex feelings about like sharing my witchcraft online and like what that means to me. And part of me is not keen on the idea of having to like defend that in a public space. So I may shift that to like Patreon, and then the people who are interested can just come to Patreon and see that more like hands-on witchy stuff, or as far as like spell work goes. And I'll just continue to share like the general witchy things I do here, along with the crafts and stuff like that. But like as far as like spell work goes, I think I might shift that to a Patreon format. Let me know what you guys think on that one. I haven't like decided yet. I just have so many like feelings that I really can't like unpack completely, but I feel like I'd be more confident utilizing a platform like Patreon to share that kind of stuff with you guys, versus just sort of punting it out into the universe here and hoping for the best. But you guys let me know what you think on that. That's still like an idea that I'm workshopping, so I haven't decided yet. I might change my mind in the future, but I am curious to like know what you guys are interested in. And yeah, let me think. What else? I did some tarot card reviews and some book reviews. The Art Magic book I got from Molly Roberts last year is still my hands down favorite book, witchy book of the year. As far as like regular books, I reread most of my favorite books last year. Last year was definitely like a comfort book year for me, so I didn't read a lot of new books. So I can't say like I have a best book of 2022, because I didn't read anything new particularly. So I'll have to say, like, I reread the Howl's Moving Castle series again, by Diana Wynne Jones. It is a series, so if you guys are fond of the Studio Ghibli animation, I would highly recommend the books. Howl's Moving Castle, The Castle in the Air, and House of Many Ways. Those are great. I absolutely love them. They are fantastic, and don't stand on this, please. Thank you. Yeah, so you guys might notice a lot of lighting changes over here. Smokey has decided that on top of the stuff I'm actively working on, right beside me is the best place to sit and hang out. And so like I enjoy having him as my crafting buddy. It is the most annoying yet cutest thing ever. But yeah, I have to like prevent tailage and deal with the fact that my light is constantly changing. That's his little tail right there. Because this guy doesn't care that I'm doing things for the channel. He just wants to be close. So I'm not gonna fault him for that. I'm just gonna cope with it as most cat parents do. So yeah, that's what I would recommend for my 2022 books of the year was that series. I really enjoy it. It is like one of my comfort series. I do go back to that series a lot. I go back to a lot of Diana Wynne Jones's books in general, because her writing style is like my comfort style. It's very cozy and very casual, and it's also really funny. She's very funny. So I just enjoy like how goofy and silly those books are sometimes. And yeah, that's basically the entirety of my year. I'm gonna scooch this over. In review, because I didn't do that much. I had really positive experiences with the Spring Around Challenge and with the Summer Camp Takeover. Summer Camp Takeover is kind of what launched the idea for Storycraft, which like was something like I had wanted to do, you know, like I wanted to share something that I'm passionate about, which is sort of these fairy tale, folklore, mythology type stories with this channel, but I didn't know how to do that. And I was like, gosh, you can't make a journal for every single fairy tale because you're not that fast of a crafter. Like you'll be doing one story a year. But like this was a way better format, and I didn't realize it until I did the Summer Camp Takeover, and I got so much positive feedback on how I handled the cryptids there that like this was a usable format that I could apply to my channel. And so yeah, there we are, and I love this series. I'm going to continue doing it. It does not get the most views yet. I think it's probably because it's still new and a lot of people don't really know what to make of it. But hopefully it picks up. Even if it doesn't, I'm going to continue doing it because I just genuinely enjoy it. And I hope that you guys are enjoying it. I get a lot of positive feedback from the comments that I get there. So that just continues to propel me forward. And I'm not going to second guess my choices because I'm enjoying them. So on top of that, like on top of Storycraft, in addition to that, what's coming up? I am doing a collaboration with April for Valentine's Day. So you guys, if you're watching her channel and her Something from Nothing series, which is a great series, especially for the start of the year. If you guys have like a bunch of scraps and you don't know what to do with them, hop over to April's channel. She does the entire saga of making something from nothing, where she turns her scrap box into some journals and gives out some really great ideas on how to use up your scraps so that you can sort of put a dent in your scrap pile. And then I even did a response video to her as episode 4 of Storycraft. So if you want another idea on how to use up your scraps, that video has the ideas, specifically on how to use up little paper strips, because I know that those are like what we're left with the most, is just a bunch of random strips after cutting down our pages to the right size. So there's a bunch of ideas in that video on how to get rid of those. So check out her video and then check out mine, or check out mine then check out hers. It doesn't matter what the order is, just go check them out. It's a really great video for the start of the year, because then you can kind of like clear the way for like a whole year of stuff. And in addition to that, I did drop the details finally for the Unstick Your Art Challenge, which is like an unofficial, untimed, everything challenge, because you're gonna get unstuck. So one of the big themes for me last year, and I think for a while, and we'll talk more about that, is just burnout. A lot of people came to tell me how burned out they were, to the point where I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, there's so many people telling me that, like, I feel like maybe this is a collective unconscious burnout versus just like everybody individually experiencing burnout independently, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things where I was like, man, I feel like I've become the burnout hub because everyone's coming to tell me about it. And I love that, like, people are comfortable enough to come tell me that kind of stuff, or that I've made, you know, space for people to talk about that on this channel, because I think it's really important, and I don't think people talk about it enough, or they downplay it a little bit. And people feel like maybe it's not okay to express that, like, I'm just not into being creative right now because I feel like I'm on empty. People don't
I don't think people understand like the process a lot, especially if you're not a particularly creative person, like what it's like to just sort of hit a wall and then everything in your brain is telling you to push through, but you're like, how? I just don't feel into the things I'm doing right now. Like, how do I continue to push when there isn't like the willpower or the energy to do so? So when I thought up this challenge, I thought it up last year and meant to post it like last year, and I feel like fuck even the year before. Um but who knows, time is relative. It doesn't exist. And I had meant to post it and then I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and then it got to the point where like I was in challenge season and I was like, how do I post this other challenge in between all of the challenges? So it didn't come out until the first of this year. So at the beginning of this year I posted it. That information is available on my channel and on my website, so you guys can check that out if you are feeling stuck. It is a really great way to get unstuck. um and I think I will probably tackle a couple of those challenges just to give you guys an idea of what it's like, coming up here in the next few weeks, because I am almost done with this book, and then there's going to be like a little bit of downtime, a little transitional period, and then I'm going to start my next book, which is going to be an art trade. So I think in that downtime, I'll do some unstick your art challenges to just kind of keep that creative energy going, and show you guys a little bit of what that challenge is like. But I would definitely recommend it if you are feeling the art block or you're feeling a little bit low creatively. It's a good place to start, because it's just a random challenge where you have a prompt or a keyword, and then like the challenge is in the media or something you have to incorporate into that random prompt and make an art out of it. And it can be any kind of art. It can be digital, physical, sewn, journaled. Thank God I didn't do the inside. Like, whatever you want to make, just make it. Follow the prompt. Don't follow the prompt. Let the prompt launch you creatively into somewhere else. The whole idea is that you don't feel like garbage when you're making it, because it's just a silly challenge and it's just something to do to have fun, and help you rekindle your passion for creating. And who knows, like I hope it has a really positive effect. I've heard some positive things from people. And like I said, there's no time limit, so don't feel stressed if you haven't started it yet. You have whenever you want, and it goes until whenever you're done. And that's just a thing that I have to offer for you guys. That's a free challenge. Not free like you had to pay for it, but free like there's no rules. For you guys, and that's up on my blog for you right now. So I guess that's like another thing I did, and did late, but not never. So hooray! And then, yeah, so my ideas for the year are to sort of reduce the amount of time I spend creating digitally so that I have more time to create physically, so that I can do more stuff for you guys here on the channel. Because there's like 3,000 of you guys, and I know I have not been the most consistent person as far as it goes, so I'm working on that a lot. Those of you who have stuck around, I really appreciate you guys for doing that. That's really super cool of you. I always get really excited when I see the same people comment on here. I get excited when I see new people, because it means like the algorithm hasn't murdered me. And you know, like it's just great to see people come back, or like new people come back again. Hey, guess whose camera has a 33-minute limit? This girl's. So, strange cut, but we're back. So yeah, and then I want to do some more of these craft with me videos. Of course, they're gonna be like story crafts, but like maybe I'll do some like micro crafts. Or like, you know, if you guys request to see something in its full version, maybe I'll jump in there and do that. I just want to do some more crafting videos, maybe some more like non-journal related crafts, because I do those on the side as well, especially when I'm like in creative funks. I'll turn to a different medium, to just sort of keep my brain going while my mind is like, no journals. So maybe I'll do those videos on here with you guys that might be interested. I know like we're not all just specifically journal crafters. People come from all sorts of different walks of life and backgrounds and have different things to share. So I think that'll be something I can offer on this channel. And then, of course, I want to like increase the offerings I have for you. I'd like to be able to offer some more freebies, maybe make some scans of stuff that I make and then like post that up for you guys. And then also have some more like unique offerings in my shop. If there's things that like I make that I can easily scan and upload so that you have a version of it without like infringing all of the copyrights, I think I'm gonna start doing that for you guys too, just because I want to be able to like connect with you guys more often and be able to find other ways to like reach out, because maybe you're not like a journaler, like you don't make journals, but you do journaling, or like you have a book of shadows and there's like some witchy doodle or you know something that I can put together for you guys. Because I will say like the ephemera kits and the word kits or the word sheets are like the most popular items in my shop, so it seems like people aren't buying stuff for the pages to make the journals so much as they're buying the stuff to fill up the pages that are in their journals. And that's totally fine. It doesn't derail anything I have planned, but it does tell me that like I need to make stuff that people can use in their books, and maybe focus more on doing that. So definitely gonna look into doing more stuff like that. Those are kind of like my light goals for the year, as well as to do bigger shop updates, but less frequently, so that I have more time to be a creative individual. And then, yeah, I just want to work on being more consistent. And that's a good goal for me to have. So, yeah, expect that. Expect to see more videos. And if you don't see a video from me, don't feel, like, afraid to hold me accountable. I really don't mind. And would prefer it if people did, because I can't brain good. So sometimes I just need someone to be like, hey, you haven't posted a video in a while, bitch. Like, get up there, do something. And I'll resent it, but I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get back in there. But yeah, that's my year in review, shop update news, goals for 2023, recaps video. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate your face. Really, truly, honestly, and deeply. I also miss crafting with you guys. I'm gonna wait for these to dry, pop some metallic on them, and we're gonna go from there, because they don't look like boogers anymore, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. So you guys will see this in the book, because it's almost done, and I'm gonna wrap up those other pieces of ephemera I started and didn't finish, and I'll probably film those because content, right? And we're just gonna keep on trucking. Until then, guys, happy crafting. Bye.